Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we are talking about some planetary alignments that are going to be affecting us. That's right. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. That's right. Today we are talking about Uranus in retrograde. And Uranus in retrograde is going to be affecting us. And let's get some hard dates on Uranus in retrograde. So Uranus in retrograde started on May 7th, 2022. It stations and turns full retrograde on August 24th. And then it turns pre-shadow energy on January 22nd, 2023, and leaves retrograde on May 9th, 2023. And this is all in the sign of Taurus. And so this is kind of a sign that Taurus and Uranus don't really get along. They're kind of like, I don't want to say like enemies, but they're kind of separate and energetic in different ways. And so they don't really work well together. So this could be a little bit more difficult retrograde than what we're used to. So it's one of those, because Uranus goes into retrograde every year for about 5 months, and it stays in the same sign for about 7 years. So it takes about 84 years for it to get all the way around the zodiac. And so this is a really interesting one because it's considered really a generational changer, because we're in each sign for such a long period of time that it really does get us a chance to kind of make some great changes, and changes over time. So it kind of goes into retrograde, so we make some changes, and then we kind of slip back the way we were, and then it comes back again. And then usually at the end of the 7 years, we're kind of like, yes, these are the changes that we've made, and we're complete with this part. Let's talk about a couple of things that are governed by Uranus. Technology is governed. So you may see computer systems slow down, or not as many updates coming through. You may see kind of like all of a sudden, like there's not really any changes coming through, and then all of a sudden there's a whole bunch, boop, 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 boop. And that's kind of the way Uranus is, and it kind of distracts us in a lot of ways. Uranus is really the planet of revolution and rebellion and kind of making changes, and kind of just all of a sudden, let's go into left field. Let's go out and let's make some big changes. And it's one of those that kind of likes to make changes on a big scale. It's one of those, it creates this foundation that we've built on. It changes our structures, and it's going to kind of tear down some of the structures that we've been building up, and maybe the way we've invested money, or the way that we've kind of invested in our food supply. It's one of those, like, really showing us like where the problems are, so now we can fix and change things. And you saw this a lot during the pandemic, between 2020 and 2022, of kind of like, oh, we can't use this because that's restaurant grade or whatever else. And you're going to see that more and more, making those changes of like, hey, we didn't like that this wasn't allowed, and so now we're going to make those changes. Those foundations that we've had are fixing, changing, and modifying. And although you may go, I haven't heard anything, all of a sudden it'll be like, boom, here's the change. So just know that that's happening. This is going to kind of really make some new changes as well in relationships, kind of foundational relationships between parents and kids, especially as the kids get older. You're going to see that more and more. You may see people kind of pushing for some changes of how people want to raise their kids or not raise their kids, or change how things are happening, or I don't like this, I want to go back to the way it was. So a lot of these changes are happening right now because of Uranus in this sign. And it's going to make kind of like these slow changes, and then all of a sudden you're going to see that big growth, that big boom, and it may change globally how we see or change our foundations between relationships. And I kind of feel more like parents and children, and it's all age children, but I kind of feel like you're going to see that more and more as the kids get older in this sign. And it's one of those, let's get you some dates of like some days that some aspects that are going to be not necessarily harsh, but changes that are going to be like, wow, that's an important date. So the first one is August 22nd. This is a square between Venus in Leo and Uranus in Taurus. And this will be pushing us to seek like more freedom in our relationships and our partnerships that don't allow us to be who we truly are or who we truly want to be. Like I said, you're going to see this a lot between parents and kids more than anything else, I feel. Our next one is November 5th. We are going to see Venus in the sign of Scorpio kind of form an opposition to Uranus in Taurus, and this way we can bring out our partnerships, kind of bring out our love and unique precious way to kind of like spend our time with other people, and those are going to be making some big changes around that time frame. We may also want our freedom from those in our relationships with us, or kind of like this could be bringing in a lot of breakups, shakeups, and kind of changes in romance. And these are kind of like, oh my gosh, so-and-so and so-and-so are now getting divorced. You're like, I had no idea. But this is going to kind of trickle all the way down through many, many layers. Not just famous people. You're going to see this all over the place. People going, I have not felt freedom for a long time, or I want to live this way, and this is not allowing me to do so, and kind of breaking those relationships so they can kind of come in new and different. The next one, we're going to have Mercury in Scorpio form an opposition with Uranus in Taurus. This will allow us to see and understand things that we haven't before. Kind of Scorpio is kind of like that hidden, what we don't want to see hidden, what we want to see hidden come to light, and Mercury is going to be all about talking about it. And then we have this rebellious Uranus energy in the sign of Taurus, of kind of our structure and kind of like how do we fix things and how do we change things. And it's going to be like, oh my gosh, now I have a completely new understanding of how this is all coming through. It's very interesting. Our next major one is November 9th. We are going to have our Sun in Scorpio in opposition with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And this will give us strength to kind of identify unique individuals that we are ready to kind of like bring into a relationship or bring out of a relationship. It's going to be changing a lot of things. So it's kind of like, how are we going to fix and change this? This is going to be not necessarily a harsh sign, but this is going to be some changes of like unique changes, things that are kind of like only going to work between these two people. It's only going to work for these two people, or things that have worked, kind of bringing in this opposition. If people have had open marriages and now they want to close that marriage, or they've had open relationships with other people, or they've been seeing other people and now they want to bring that into kind of like a new understanding in all of this, it's going to make some changes and some new signs. So let's do some angel cards and hopefully get us a little bit deeper insight into Uranus in retrograde. Got to get them all going in the right direction. So this one is popping out first, so let's start with it. And this is about answered prayers. So many times we want the truth, but we're afraid of it at the same time. But this is bringing our truth forward. This is kind of bringing those changes forward that we're really ready to make and really ready to step into. And this is going to be a great sign for us of kind of like seeing things in a new way, kind of that rebellious energy. Manifestation. This is going to bring in some new avenues of money, or new avenues of investing your money. I kind of feel more investments coming forward, kind of how do we do this, how do we not do this, and how do we restructure our money. Support. We always have support on the other side, but I love this picture because it's always talking about the support that we require having, the support that we really, really require having and looking into and looking up to. This is going to be a great sign of kind of making some new changes. Our last card here is right on the bottom. This is all about retreat. Taking time during Uranus in retrograde is going to give you a unique time of kind of like breaking that away, kind of giving you that freedom that you require so you can kind of think your own thoughts. So many times we are in our day-to-day lives and we're, you know, busy, and we don't ever really get a chance to kind of like What's next? How do we do this? How do we deal with this? And that's what this sign is all about. Uranus in retrograde is all about giving us a retreat, kind of giving us a time to kind of like look at things differently, look at our lives in a different way, and what are we choosing to change? What are we choosing to upgrade? What are you choosing to change and upgrade in your life is what's most important during Uranus in retrograde. And it's a great time to make some new changes, some new thoughts. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to change? Where do you want to move your life path to? What is it that you are choosing now to bring forward? A great one to remember. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.